Okay. Roll out. Which one? Oh, the first one, yeah. Okay. Oh, Kurt. Yeah. Right. Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the Clifton Park Town Board meeting of January 14th. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pat, if you call the roll.
Councilman Whalen. Here. Councilman Standar. Here. Councilman Romano.
Here.
Councilman Wallen. Here. Supervisor Barrett.
Here. Entertain a motion to approve town board meeting minutes of the January 2nd reorganizational meeting as well as the January 2nd first regular town board meeting of 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Romano, second by Ms. Wallowit. Discussion.
Councilman Whalen.
Yes.
Councilman Standar. Yes. Councilman Romano.
Yes.
Councilman Wallen. Yes. Supervisor Barrett.
Yes. Communications and announcements. Any takers this evening? Okay. Very good. We'll get right to our resolutions. We only have a few this evening. It's our, well, actually fourth meeting of the month. Third regular town board meeting of the month. So it's been a busy month from the 2nd right here through the 14th. And we're off to a good start in 2019. We have a lot of important projects that will be completed this year. And we're very excited for the turn in the weather, so those projects can move forward. All right, Pat, if you could read the resolutions, and we'll consider each one individually.
A resolution scheduling a public hearing to consider an amendment to Chapter 125-8 of the Town Code, adding an exception to the provisions for tax penalties for withdrawal from a term conservation easement. Whereas the town maintains a temporary conservation easement program, which authorizes reduced assessments on farmlands for easements of a certain term of years. And whereas Chapter 125 of the Town Code requires the assessor to impose tax penalties where owners of farmland property petition the town board for cancellation of the term easement prior to expiration of the term with limited exceptions. And whereas Kurt and Julie Swartz have an existing term farmland conservation easement on 72.9 plus or minus acres of farmland at 110 Ashdown Road, known as Maple Hill Farm. And whereas the Swartzes have applied to the state for participation in the New York State Farmland Protection Program, which provides funding assistance for the permanent acquisition of all development rights to the parcel under a permanent conservation easement to be acquired by the town. And whereas on December 27, 2018, the governor announced that Maple Hill Farm had been awarded a Farmland Protection Program grant. And whereas by resolution number 182 of 2018, the town board has expressed an interest in completing the acquisition of development rights to Maple Hill Farm with the assistance of the State Farmland Protection Program grant, as well as supplemental funding through Saratoga Plan. And whereas the town board wishes to schedule a public hearing on a proposal to provide an exception to the penalty provisions of Chapter 125-8 of the Town Code in cases where the holder of a term conservation easement agrees to convey and the town board agrees to acquire a permanent conservation easement over the same lands. Now therefore be resolved that the town board hereby schedules a public hearing for February 4th, 2019 at 7:03 p.m. on a proposal to add inclusion of a permanent conservation easement to the exceptions for tax penalties resulting from a withdrawal from a term conservation easement. A resolution reappointing Lester Dennison as chairman of the Fire Code Appeals Board. Whereas the term for the chairman of the Fire Code Appeals Board expired on December 31st, 2018, and whereas the town supervisor has recommended that Lester Dennison, Torero Drive, Clifton Park, be reappointed as chairman, now therefore be it resolved that Lester Dennison is hereby reappointed chairman of the Fire Code Appeals Board, term to expire December 31st, 2019. A resolution granting authority to the state of New York to modify the existing water main and appurtenances on the New York Route 146, New York Route 146A, Bishop Ferry Road roundabout project, and subsequently agreeing to own, maintain, and repair new water features. Whereas the New York State Department of Transportation proposes the construction of a roundabout at the intersection of Route 146A and Route 146 and 146A, Bishop Ferry Road, in the town of Clifton Park, located in Saratoga County. And whereas the town of Clifton Park desires, and the state of New York will include, at the request of the municipality, and as part of the above-mentioned project, and to provide at no cost to the town, water main and appurtenance items, including a new service connection to the landscape median of the roundabout, as well as installation of a yard hydrant for maintenance of the proposed roundabout landscaping and altering existing water valve boxes pursuant to Section 10, Subdivisions 24 and 35 of the State Highway Law, as shown on the contract plans related to the project and meeting the requirements of the owner. And whereas the service life of the relocated and/or replaced water main and appurtenances has not been extended, and whereas the state will provide for construction of the above-mentioned work as shown on the contract plans relating to the project, and the town of Clifton Park will maintain or cause to be maintained these water main and appurtenance features. Now therefore be resolved that the town of Clifton Park approves of the addition of the above water features to the project, and the state of New York will include the water main and appurtenances within the construction project, and be further resolved that Supervisor Barrett is hereby authorized to enter into and execute an agreement with the state of New York and through the Commissioner of Transportation to accept ownership and maintain or cause to be maintained these water main and appurtenances on the above identified project as it relates to the town of Clifton Park, and be further resolved that the clerk of the town of Clifton Park is hereby directed to transmit 5 certified copies of the foregoing resolution to the New York State Department of Transportation, and be it further resolved this resolution shall take effect immediately. A resolution declaring public emergency pursuant to General Municipal Law Section 1034 for repair and/or replacement of a telephone system, computer processing unit, and related components. Whereas December 26, 27, 2018, Allied Telecom was performing routine service upgrades to the telephone system at the Municipal Public Safety Building when the information specialist, Matthew Andrus, was notified that the telephone system in use at multiple town offices were degrading and in imminent danger of failure. And whereas Section 1034 of the New York State General Municipal Law provides that in cases of an emergency situation arising from unforeseen circumstances affecting public buildings or the health or safety of the public, the town board may authorize the purchase of service material and equipment without competitive bids. And whereas Mr. Andrus recommended that Allied Telecom Park Avenue Cohoes be engaged for emergency repair work for the telephone system and the installation of a refurbished Samsung OS 7400 cabinet-related components, and whereas Allied Telecom was contacted to perform repairs to the hardware, software, and peripherals on an emergency basis pursuant to correspondence dated January 7, 2019, attached. Now therefore be resolved that the town board determines that the resulting damage to the telephone system at One Town Hall Plaza, as determined on January 7, 2019, constitutes an emergency for procurement purposes under Section 1034 of the General Municipal Law, and be it further resolved that the controller is authorized to pay Allied Telecom an amount not to exceed $11,095 from the lines listed for the project.
Very good. Any questions on the resolutions? Okay, Pat, if you could read the heading, and we'll consider each one individually.
Resolution number 18 of 2019, resolution scheduled for public hearing to consider an amendment to the Chapter 2, Chapter 125-8 of the Town Code, adding an exception to the provisions for tax penalties for withdrawal from a term conservation easement.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Romano, second by Ms. Wallowit. I don't expect this to be terribly controversial. We were very pleased to be able to secure a grant in partnership with the Schwartz family for Maple Hill Farm and its permanent protection. It's the fourth farm that the town of Clifton Park has been able to protect permanently, and we're very proud of that feat. In this particular case, the fact that the Schwartzes will be out of the conservation easement program due to the fact that they are receiving this grant, there will be permanent protection on the property. We do not believe they should be penalized for leaving the conservation easement program, particularly when they're working with the town on this grant application. So just a minor housekeeping item, but obviously not something the Schwartz family should be punished for, and we do appreciate their continued partnership. We have approximately 2,000 acres in the conservation easement program at any one time. The program offers tax benefits to large landowners that agree not to develop their property for a term of either 15, 20, or 25 years. Okay. Any discussion before we set the hearing? Okay, Pat?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Holloway?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Resolution number 18 of resolution number 19 of 2019, the resolution appointing Lester Dennison as chairman of the Fire Code Appeals Board.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Whalen, second by Mrs. Standard. Discussion.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Holloway?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Resolution 20 of 2019, a resolution granting authority to the state of New York to modify the existing water main and appurtenances on the Route 146, 146A Bishop Ferry Road roundabout project, and subsequently agreeing to own, maintain, and repair new water features.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Ms. Wallowit. I had mentioned last week that I think people will be very pleased with the final product once the intersection enhancements are completed at the Bishop Ferry Route 146, 146A intersection. We've been working very closely with DOT, and we've been able to exact some changes from the original plan that they submitted. They gave us the opportunity to provide input and our opinions and ideas on how we thought we could make the project better working together. Similar to the process that took place for the Rexford Bridge project, which I think our opinions and ideas in that case did make that project better. In this case, there will be extensive sidewalks. There will be pedestrian enhancements on all four legs of the roundabout. Initially, there was only planned to be pedestrian enhancements on two legs. Also, there will be a significant amount of plantings. DOT will be extending water service and electricity service to the areas where we will need it to perform maintenance duties once the project is completed. We're also working with them on some other amenities that I won't talk about yet because I don't want to say until there's a definitive agreement to our plan. But safe to say, I think, as I said, at the end of the day, people will be very pleased from the aesthetic enhancements that will be a product of this project. So I do appreciate everybody's hard work on this matter and DOT's willingness to work with us on some changes. So this resolution codifies some of the items I just spoke about, and specifically relating to the water service, and we will be responsible for maintaining that point, that water point, once it is installed. But again, that's going to obviously be a great help to us when we're trying to maintain the plantings and other items in the roundabout property. And who knows, maybe in the future we make changes, come up with new plans, maybe many years down the road, but at least we wanted to make sure that the initial plantings and plan is very substantial and aesthetically pleasing, and I think we're 2 for 2 on those wishes. Any discussion, comments? Okay, Pat?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Holloway?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Resolution number 21 of 2019, a resolution declaring a public emergency pursuant to General Municipal Law Section 1034 for repair and/or replacement of a telephone system, computer, processing unit, and related components.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Whalen, second by Ms. Wallowit. We had some phone issues recently, and service was interrupted for a short period of time, but we were able to have the installation of the repairs performed quickly, and we were back in action. So we did have a little issue, but we're past that. Hopefully there won't be another one anytime soon. At least relating to this part. Computer and, well, how'd you describe it? Computer and related components. Yes, thank you. Everything has a computer nowadays, that is for sure. Even your car. Did you know that? Oh, okay. I knew you would. All right. Any discussion? Okay, Ben.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Wallowit?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes, any other business to come before the board this evening? No? Okay. With that, we'll go to public privilege. If you'd like to speak on a town matter, please raise your hand. We'll ask that you come forward, state your name and address for the record, and please keep it to 5 minutes or less. Anybody like to speak this evening? No? Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second by Mr. Whalen.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Wallowit? Supervisor Barrett?
Yes, thank you.